stuck, so I stuck the GoPro up there on the computer for a wide angle of this morning's discussion. Guys, I got a bee under my bonnet. I'm freaking out. Did you guys see the Racket Mag article that made its way onto ODSC this morning? Because that's what is on my mind. I'm going to try and find a place for you guys that gives you the better view. Gives me the satisfaction of you guys having a view I feel like is fun to look at. One of my goals for our time together is for it not to be wicked retarded. So let's see, maybe I can stick you guys up here. Good morning, everybody. I am pleased to be with you this morning, and I am challenged this morning. I am struggling, friends. Struggling with I'm reading yet again another article in the same attitude as the Jenkem Mag and so many of these other erstwhile skateboard interest culture pieces. And this article is on racketmagazine.com. And I'm going to I got a fresh cup here. I'm really happy. You know, I woke up this morning, because of my son's school schedule. Hey, Edward, I have the luxury of sleeping till sometimes 8:30 in the morning. And I've been loving this new schedule. My son is taking both college and high school courses. And on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, he starts high school at like 11:50 in the morning. So you guys and we have from now until... hi friend, I have from now until 11:15, and I think I'm going to use the whole 45 minutes. The reason I'm posting is one of my common reasons is I can't do this alone. I can't handle doing this alone. We've got this article comes out from Racket Magazine. It's just like the Jenkem magazine articles, and it says, how can skate shops help keep themselves alive? It's on racket.com. And I have a reputation that I really hate about skate shops. I have been declared the enemy of the local skate shops. I've had people lecture me about my opposition to skate shops and how I'm the enemy. Oh, I hate it. I just hate it. Because I am the opposite of that, always have been the opposite of that. And I have a long history of working with skate shops for the betterment of the skateboarding community and culture and industry. I am deeply, deeply invested and interested in a healthy skateboarding culture and a healthy skateboarding industry. These things are so important to me that I've invested like my life in it. In my early years, coming into the skate industry, it was one of those he doesn't deserve to be part of it because he was never pro or am. He's not good enough at skateboarding to be a part of the scene at the influencer level. Of course, that wasn't the way it got said, but those were the operative ideas, and that was not only hurtful personally to see that kind of exclusion being exercised on what is basically just a jock basis based on how good you are at skateboarding. But it exposed to me a toxic meritocracy in the skateboarding culture and industry. This toxic meritocracy is... By the way, this is not going to be a video about how skate shops need to support small brand makers, okay? This is not going to be about skate shops failing to support me as a board maker. This is going to be a video about how skate shops... Well, let's look into this article. I wish I had the technology to be down in the corner and talking while you guys are reading this article, but This article starts with, see that Jankum article about keeping skate shops in business? Cheers to them for publicly kicking off a much needed conversation. Well, the Jankum article, well, I'm going to open it up, and I want to tell you guys a story. I want to tell you that Jankum article hit, and let me shut my door a little more. My wife's in a business meeting the other one. Let's see. I'm just going to close the time. Okay. Good. The Jankum article kicks off. It says, "How can we help keep skate shops alive?" And its first paragraph is about Sunday Skate Shop in Buffalo. As other retail industries have struggled, we are in a retail shrink right now. Skate shops seem more uncertain than ever. And this past weekend, we lost a long-standing one, Sunday Skate Shop in Buffalo, New York. This got us thinking about what skateboarders and the skate industries can do to help shops, obviously in addition to spending more money. But instead of rehashing reasons to support your local with another link to another article, I'm going to open that link in a new tab, and it is a Jankum article. We talked with shop owners themselves about how we can help them stay in business longer and keep our local scenes healthy. Well, this is already off on the wrong foot. Any industry that is talking like this is already on the wrong foot. Already, my old Epiphone. If you're talking like this, but what happened was I was in a thread and somebody from Buffalo chimed in. and it's good to see your words, Sean Tierney. Thank you for the encouragement. Let me just put something out here. It is Sunday Skate Shop in Buffalo, New York was legendary for unfriendliness to people. That is, it was legendary for it. It was built on the 90s ethic of vibing and that toxic meritocracy. Meritocracy is good. I am not against someone saying, this has merit, this has proven its worth, therefore I will consume it, I will pay for it, and I will use it to support me in my skateboarding. Things that have merit. That's what I've invested my professional work in, is what I see as having merit. The problem is that the meritocracy that the skateboarding industry has completely invested itself in is just the meritocracy of who can do the scariest, gnarliest stunts. And then those people get to own the shops and run the scene and run everything. The skate shop, Sunday Skate Shop in Buffalo, was legendary for ruining the vibe with negativity and just really, yuck. Come on. Jankum's not going to write an article about that. But you know what? It looks like Racket Mag might be onto it. And in this, so cheers to Jankum for kicking off a much needed conversation. We think it's an important one, so let's keep it going. So, how can skate shops keep themselves alive? I don't really know. To call this the end of the conversation would be a bit dishonest. While they were the final words mumbled to me from behind the skate shop counter, the word conversation implies a basic level of politeness and engagement. For example, a conversation usually involves simple things like occasional eye contact, which this guy in his early 20s used only for his phone. Whatever the name of our interaction, it was clear that it was the type where we both wished that I was somewhere else. This is the first paragraph of this. Obviously, this is written by someone who went to a skate shop and tried to broach this topic with the folks behind the counter. And it looks like he didn't run into the most articulate dude, not rare at skate shops. He writes, I started skating just over 20 years ago, right after Mouse dropped. So this is a 90s era skater. And Tom Penny disappeared back across the Atlantic. As anyone from my generation, he's from, all right. Chris Castle, I see you posting here that Jim C. Seemed like a nice guy. All of the skate shop owners are nice guys. Everybody's a nice guy when you are in certain things. But they recruit and support and promote people constantly who are not nice guys. I've seen this with my own eyes, and now I've got enough conversations under my belt that this is widespread enough to actually call normative. That these guys might be nice guys, but you know who they're nice to? They're nice to people who aren't nice. They shouldn't be. They should be kicking people off their teams if they vibe or if they harass. You know, and they're not. They won't do it because the skate shop owner knows he's going to have a shitstorm of bad PR because they're couched in a culture. They're couched in a pecking order where the skate shop owner is, if the main rippers get pissed off, boy, oh boy, the shitstorm they're into because they haven't got a broad base of appeal to kids and moms and dads and girls and all the kinds of people out there who can secure your base so that you can afford to tick off the jock mentality, negative, crazy BS that skateboarding has been about since Mouse and Tom Penny. And you can't afford to tick them off, so you wind up slaving out to the, I mean, it's just nuts. It's nuts. So he says, I just started skating. I started skating 20 years ago. The internet was still nascent. Direct-to-consumer sales were largely non-existent, and unless you had your hands on a mag or a CCS catalog, the skate shop was the only way to tap in or get what you needed. Skateboarding at large was also at a much different place, developmentally adolescent, and many of the shops that ran it acted accordingly. So the shops acted in a developmentally adolescent way. Lots of hooligan garbage, lots and lots of Big Brother vibe, lots and lots of that going on. And they went at it for the past 30 years. In fact, we're running up on 30 years of this kind of skate shop stuff. Yes, Mo Tham from Method of Thrashing Hard in Austin, Texas area. Mo, are you from Austin? Let me know. Are you in Austin or Houston? I can't remember now, but I love you, and I can't wait to skate with you again. They're between a rock and a hard place, but until we recognize that rock and hard place were really of their own choosing, and are a product of their aptitudes and attitudes over a course of, we're going on more than 30 years of this. The present skate shop model took us from the bike store that sold skateboards into the core skate shop, and our culture got defined in the 90s by the likes of Steve Rocco and Big Brother, and you can go on and on, Bam, and you know. So Ted Barrow put together a solid piece for Trans World outlining the vibe of judgment. I'm going to open that in a new tab. That permeated the floor of most skate shops during this era. As he put it, the skate shop staff was probably at the top of the pecking order, and getting vibed at the shop was and is a rite of passage. Well put. Like Ted, I too am somewhat nostalgic for the silly, insecure aura of judgment that hung over every interaction at my town's skate shop. Okay, let me reread that to you. Like Ted, I too am somewhat nostalgic for the silly, insecure aura of judgment that hung over every interaction at my town's skate shop. Okay, I am not nostalgic for that. From the time I set foot in the first core shop that took itself seriously, I resented deeply the implication that any skateboarder is in any way inferior to any other skateboarder. That as skateboarding, we are a family of people who are pursuing fun, joy, and a feeling of freedom through the skateboard medium. The skateboard is a vehicle for human freedom, and it is not to be shut off to anyone for any reason, especially aptitudes and stupid pecking orders. I mean, get back to the gridiron, as Christian Svitek once put it. And this cool guy vibe has ruined the market for skate shops. In the beginning, it consolidated the market, and that's why they thought it was the right move. It consolidated their holdings in the skate culture and made them the magnates and the bosses of town. And now they're paying the price for it because they've shrunk skateboarding down only to risk takers, only to people who are hungry to be involved in such an insecure. All right, so I am not filled with, I am not nostalgic for the silly, insecure aura of judgment that hung over every interaction at my town skate shop. But remember something, I started skating 10 years earlier. I'm an 80s skateboarder, and 80s skateboarding was not like 90s skateboarding. 80s skateboarding was still surf-based and was still linked much more deeply to surf culture and the surf sensation. So I'm gonna go ahead and read some more of this article, because I started reading this article and I started having like an anxiety issue, you know. Well put. I'm so nostalgic for blah blah blah. However, it's the is, not the was, in his statement that concerns me. As Barrow notes, I am still filled with a looming apprehension whenever I enter a shop, a feeling of sickening discomfort. Something tells me that he's not the only one. With no disrespect to Barrow, who wonders if the lingering vibeology today might or might not be refreshing, I think that the truth is something far different. From 2002 to about 2006, he writes, I was lucky enough to run a skate shop. I learned a few important lessons. Lesson one, man, it is hard. Margins on hard goods are ridiculously low. And this is very important because hard goods should have been rising in price. A deck should be costing us between 70 and 90 bucks at least. In Europe, a deck costs $100 just for a Chinese pressed baker or flip, or just for factory wood. It costs $100 or more in Europe to buy. Here in America, the same thing should be the case, but our market has been led by people who are fueled by insecurity. They've been afraid to raise margins on skateboard stuff, and instead they use the skateboard hard goods to get you in for the shoe sales. And the shoe companies partnered with them very well until 10 or so years ago. The shoe companies pulled the rug out, and now our skate shops, I mean, they already 10 years ago were closing, but now they're really starting to close. And so margins are ridiculously low. Finding affordable rent where parents are willing to come. Parents are less and less willing to come the more garbage, the more affiliation skateboarding has with ridiculously antisocial and even outlaw shit that's going on. So despite the struggle, our shops serve a powerful and important purpose, he says. Everyone wants in your shop, endless headaches you have to deal with. Your shop serves a powerful and important purpose. Historically, skateboarding has given people a place to belong. People like me who found a little to identify with in more traditional pastimes such as team sports, or people who had much harder upbringings than I did in skateboarding. But in skateboarding, we found a home and a sense of purpose. Due to their position in local communities, skate shops have the unique ability to support and help provide meaning to maturing young people at a very vulnerable age, all while allowing us, the actual skateboarders, to maintain the integrity of our culture on our terms. That's important stuff, and no matter how much changes in skateboarding, I remain convinced that no one is better positioned to keep us alive than our local shop. This is utter crap. But let's just start with one word. I know you guys may or may not have this open in front of you, but I want you to hear this. Skate shops have the unique ability to support and help provide meaning to maturing young people at a very vulnerable age. Skate shops are retailers. Their fundamental existential interest is in selling you products. You do not want your meaning at a vulnerable age to be provided by a retailer. You don't want that. And they are not uniquely positioned. There are other ways for you to experience that. How about skateboarding clubs? How about these Facebook groups like Old Dude Skater Crew, Never Was, Welfare Line? These are the emerging groups that are that are supporting and providing community around skateboarders. Um, it is manipulation by retailers that has pigeonholed skateboarding into the high risk, high bar of entry community that it's become. That's a degradation of skateboarding. Skateboarding is for everyone who wants to be a kid again for any number of minutes on any day. That's what skateboarding is for. Don't be confused about it. Skateboarding is not about legitimacy or achievement or progression. This progress daily stuff is garbage. You may progress daily, and it is wonderful to progress daily. But skateboarding is about being a kid again. And I'm gonna handle a tech thing. This section here, most of us read over a section like this, and this is what, man, I guess I'm triggered. I woke up, I got triggered by this because I read this and I'm like, so few people think that this paragraph is garbage. This is paragraph number, let me page down here. This is paragraph number, let's see, 1, 2, 3. This is paragraph 4 in How Can Skate Shops Help Keep Themselves Alive, which is a weird headline. Editor much? This is in Racket Mag. This paragraph right here, what really bugs me is that this paragraph comes off so, it goes down like honey for skateboarders. They love reading paragraphs like this. You know, people, this idea, I'm looking on here at this paragraph, and you know, this idea that found a sense of a home and sense of purpose there. Due to their position, skate shops have the unique ability to support. It's not unique. There are better ways than a retailer to support and provide meaning to maturing young people at a very vulnerable age. There's a better way, always has been a better way. It's through clubs and associations and friendship groups and neighborhoods. And skateboarders never organized along those lines because we put our most skilled skaters up on the throne in the skate shops, and we allowed them to call the shots for us because we were a largely insecure young male crowd. I was not. I was 10 years older than all these guys doing it, but it functions very much like a groupthink or even, I mean, I think it's a little bit of hyperbole, but it functions like a cult. Okay, there's a lot of groupthink. There are ideas that are not allowed, words that are not allowed, culture that's not allowed, clothing that's not allowed, and these not alloweds are enforced through ostracizing, through defamation, and even through open assault in some communities. There's blacklisting. I mean, it's nuts that we've let this go this long without somebody raising a flag. And here we are this many decades into it, and Jenkem Mag is writing multiple, keep supporting, how to support, how do we keep these going? And here we have Racket Mag, and they're writing another one, and it's this rose-colored glasses, nostalgic feeling for something that I was always disgusted by. I had a head on my neck when I was a kid. I was taught never to respect a braggart. Don't respect someone who pushes other people around or who bullies people based on what they're wearing. I was taught this as a child by my parents. And when I came into skateboarding, one of the first things that repelled me, and it caused me to feel revulsion was seeing people tell you that you can't wear this or can't wear that, and people poser hunting. It just sickened me, and I spent a little bit of time trying on the boots of a poser hunter and being mean to people who I thought weren't real skaters. And you know what? It was not a good fit. It made me shrink down and shrivel up and feel terrible. And I've learned over the years that what my parents taught me was true. Never give respect to a braggart. You'll turn your whole community into a bully culture. And that's what we've got in skateboarding. And bully cultures don't know anything but support us, support us, support us. Loyalty, loyalty, loyalty to the retailer. And this paragraph lionizes, you know, it forms this like nostalgic, loving view of the skate shop as the unique having, you know, their position in the local community, unique ability to support. Yeah, well, they won't share that position. Okay, so nobody is better positioned to keep us alive than our local shop. What is keep us alive? There are so many ideas involved in this that are actually need to be expanded. Keep us alive? I'll tell you what will keep me alive is a quality skateboard deck, a quality set of skateboard trucks, a quality set of bearings, a quality set of wheels. I can handle hardware store hardware, okay? I can and I need grip tape. I need good grip tape. And there are companies that provide all these things at different qualities, and I'm always hunting for the best one, and I'm willing to pay good money to whoever will sell it to me. And now, thanks to the failure of these shops to really build a diverse, durable culture base, thanks to Thrasher magazine for painting skateboarding as jumping down things, now it's getting harder and harder to find quality. And so he says, now that I'm a bit older, I've had a chance to do some traveling. When I'm in a new city, visit a local super, wander into the right shop. I'm a kid in a candy store, knowing what it's like on the other end. I'd like to support what matters most. But here's the thing, a lot of skate shops are blowing it. Decades ago, as the world was much more localized, shops could perhaps afford the ethos of vibology. All right, well, I'm going to have to take a pause here, friends. Most shops are blowing it. I haven't finished this article. I don't mean to pass judgment on this article, but the premise of this article, that shops are uniquely positioned to support skateboarding. Oh, I see something. Hang on, I'm going to look at this. Skate shops are supposed to supply the skateboarders with the best hard goods out there, and they are supposed to represent skateboarders to the local community to help get skate parks built, not be the creepy uncle of skateboarders that groom the kids into disgusting culture and beat them down into Stockholm syndrome. That's a powerful comment by Sean Gibson, close homie. We are seeing here in the Midwest that we have had a rash of truly terrible skate shop, retail dominant, territorial culture. It's not everywhere, but Indianapolis and Cincinnati have had 20 plus years of this as their culture leadership. It's driven out children, it's driven out girls, and there are always exceptions. There are always people who are willing to endure this out of their love of skateboarding. And on one level, those people who've done that, I know some of them, and they have my respect for their resilience and their perseverance, but they have, some of them, lost my respect in regard to whether they would stand up on behalf of people who are being pushed out, frozen out, iced out of skateboarding. And especially in regard to sexual harassment, especially in regard to violent bullying, especially in regard to internet defamation. These are not things that have all happened to me. These are things I've been watching happening the whole time. And around here, the operative word has been stay under the radar if you have a different opinion. But this opinion is extremely important for all of us, because I can think of worse things than losing our skate shops. I can think one of the worst things is our skate shops would continue to enforce this kind of territorial, garbagey garbage in our culture, and that Thrasher would continue to, I'm telling you, Thrasher magazine has done more damage to new skateboarders than I think could be described easily in a video. And I think legitimately upset this morning that this article, which is, it looks like he's attempting to hold skate shops accountable, okay, is operating from this cultic view of skate shops as uniquely positioned to give meaning and purpose to the lives of young people. I'm sorry, friends, but I have watched a skate shop owner argue that every kid ought to try every drug. I've watched a skate shop owner argue that every kid ought to try every deviant thing and like this. I've watched skate shop owners who are actively interested in getting kids to be perverted, getting kids to lose innocence, and they are entirely androcentric, boy-centered. And I've seen this for years and years and years, and nobody has been willing at any point to call it out and to start to deal with this. And it has ruined the role of skate shops in the life of skateboarders because the skate shops wasted their chance. They wasted it, and now you can buy Bones wheels direct from Skate One. You can buy Indy trucks direct from NHS. You can buy every single thing that you need for a great skateboard. You can buy it from someone else because the skate shops lost their place of influence. They lost it 10 years ago. They lost it 10 years ago. And these articles that are coming out about skate shops are a day late and a dollar short. And they still are treating it like skate shops are the way to go. It's not. The way to go for skate culture is your local and regional and national cultural groupings. You'll find them in social media. You'll find them other ways. But I'm telling you, if you're a kid and you want skate culture, you form up a crew and you form up a culture, or you form up around some of the older cats and let them teach you how to barge a pool and let them teach you how to do all these things. And you form up around people you respect and admire, and you steer clear of people who push you around or tell you you're not wearing the right shoes. This is the litmus test. Anyone that tells you you're wearing the wrong clothes, don't listen to them anymore. Anyone who tells you you're riding the wrong brand of board, don't listen to them anymore. Allow yourself to not respect that person's opinion. It doesn't mean you don't love the person. It doesn't mean you don't respect the person's humanity, but their opinion is shite. And let them go. They're blind. Let them go. Go. I like that guy. I like to skate with that guy, but his ideas are all messed up, and I'm not going to listen to what he's saying. And a lot of the young people who are involved in skateboarding industry, and a lot of people who've come to skateboarding are not strong people. There are a lot of very weak-minded young men involved in skateboarding who aren't ready to admit that their heroes are fallen. You know, that they're not ready to admit that their hometown hero is a tragic character in a tragic, you know, I mean, it's really tragic. And I'm not upset that the skate shops are failing, because skateboarding rolls on. I'm upset that the article's being written and that these guys who have the voice over the whole thing don't seem to be able to wrap their heads around. Let me skip ahead here. And see. So how are local shops fighting back and advocating for themselves, at many times pathetically? Let's see here. Service matters. So now they're talking about quality retail service and community involvement. Let's see. Here are some shops with recommendations at the end. Let's see if there's anything in here that is in Ohio, because I know the Ohio shops. I know the culture that Ohio and Indiana are heavily invested in, and it is a toxic meritocracy almost entirely. And I don't care, because skateboarding exists outside the shops, and it exists outside those industry mechanisms now. And I'm telling you this. Leave them. They are blind guides. They're just going to lead you to fall into a hole. That's what these industry magnates and this toxic meritocracy, and when I say toxic meritocracy, I want to say it again. There is such a thing as a non-toxic meritocracy. There's such a thing as good meritocracy. When you find something that has value, you invest in that. You say, oh, I found a brand that is truly valuable. I'm going to invest in that. These are the trucks I like. I like these trucks. You're looking and curious, and it's a fun life about value. You know, this has value to me. But if your leadership in community and culture is your leadership just because they're better than you are on the wrong track. You need leadership in culture and community because they make you stronger and feel better. There's more to skateboarding and life than ripping. And for some folks, that's not the case. Different strokes for different folks. But this has been my words about this Racket Magazine article, this fundamental idea, this deep flaw that runs through the conversation about these is found in big paragraph number 1, 2, 3, 4. Paragraph number 4. And to recap, it was, due to their position in local communities, skate shops have the unique ability to support and help provide meaning to maturing young people at a very vulnerable age, all while allowing us, the actual skateboarders, to maintain the integrity of our culture on our terms. By the way, that second clause, the second clause in this sentence, all while allowing us, the actual skateboarders, to maintain the integrity of our culture on our terms. I'm sorry, folks, but the integrity of skateboarding culture ought to be, it's fun. You're welcome to come do it. Push around, push Mongo. Don't skate switch. Skate switch. Do flip tricks. Don't do flip tricks. You all belong. Everyone belongs. Everyone belongs. You're right, Chris Gurley. Let's do a knife. We're doing a knife. Today's a Skinner. All right. I'm not a fan of a lot of knives. You guys know that my EDC is my D. Kistner custom. D made me this beautiful knife. I love the finish on it. This is forge and flagon level material here. It's got a thin the handle scales. It's a full 3/8 or 1/4 inch thick. It's heavy. It's not long, so it doesn't carry too heavy. It's got a Kydex sheath on it. You guys know this is my EDC. This is my daily humper and thumper when I'm not doing a smaller knife. But this one is a Condor knife and tool. I like it. It's got a sheath. These are easy to form. I didn't form that sheath. It is a Skinner. You can see I've used it quite a bit. Useful in the shop. Not good at poking. It's not a very sharp tip. Thanks, guys. That's a good idea. It's got a rounded grind on it for skinning so you don't ruin the hide. I do like that knife, and I will use it to skin something someday. That's good. Maybe have a pull on the vape here. Did any of you guys see the videos that came out? People are making edits of me that make fun of me. I'm down with it. All right. Too much butt kissing for too many years has led to Stockholm Syndrome, groupthink, and even violent enforcement. For sharing ideas like this, people like me have experienced extreme duress. And if you are a person who's raised a voice of conscience in skateboarding and you would like to share some time and friendship with me, I would really appreciate it, because people of conscience in skateboarding who can see beyond this Stockholm Syndrome BS. A lot of us exist in the industry, we exist in the community as pariahs. And it is not an easy row to hoe. It's profoundly discouraging, and that is, I operate under a cloud of profound discouragement, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because I have no interest in being in this Stockholm Syndrome and being part of this fascism that is the skateboarding industry right now. Don't ever entrust your soul to a retailer. What? Why would anyone trust someone whose job is to sell? And irony of all ironies, when the skate shops attack Nike for being corporate. I'm sorry, dear friends. That's the pot calling the kettle black. It makes me angry. You guys can find a link to this article, and it has links in it, among the comments on this thread, because I believe Chris Castle, thank you very much, threw the link up. I'm gonna let this stuff stew in my gut, and I'm gonna do some more videos on it during the week. But boy, I am heated about this. Heated. For decades I've been watching skateboarding get its wings clipped. Watching kids and girls and old men. Oh my gosh, even just the other day I was in a group and someone called old men Eustas and talked badly about people who came back to skateboarding after quitting when they saw the Dogtown movie. I'm sorry, friends, but if you're an old man and you watched the Dogtown movie and you said, I want to go skateboarding again, I think that is an enormously positive thing. Who could resent that? And yet there we are, mainstream brand owners, just dogging down and ragging on these old men who came back after they saw the Dogtown video. I mean, I got the how dare yous. How dare you denigrate and rip on the love of skateboarding in an old man who came back after watching the Dogtown videos? How dare you publicly impugn the beautiful thing that's a person returning to riding their skateboard? Oh, all they do is stand up on the deck and talk. I don't want to talk, I want to skate. Shut up and skate. Hey, you need to loosen up. They're talking because they love skateboarding. And if you don't feel like talking, take your run or quietly be an adult. My goodness. Yeah, are we allowed to skate again if we stop for more than a year? Man, we had a huge thing here. This was some years ago, but the skate shop owner and local magnate declared on social media that if you ever quit skateboarding, never come back. This was how the skate shop treated the public. And everyone was cool with it. You could see so many people just piling on. And there was no pushback, except me. And I've got no regrets. I have no other way to live. My conscience could. I mean, my goodness. That kind of thinking ought to be ridiculed widely. It's not. It's not ridiculed widely. The likes of Jake Phelps have made sure to keep us all fighting with each other. Well, friends, gonna sign off and go play with knives, cutting wood and doing gluey and painty things. Making shirts today. I'm packing boards and boxes today, getting a bunch of shipping done. I tried to burn a new graphic. It failed. I've got to do some graphic work, build a couple of screens. Really, I got quite a full plate, and I lost a day of work due to my truck breaking down. So, so I'm back at it, and maybe I'll do a workshop video today. I don't know if you like what I'm saying, but I love you. And you know who else I love is my mom. Hi, Mom. I love you. Signing out. Peace. All right. I just ended the Facebook feed. Lots of comments on it. I'm pretty proud of it. Yeah, that was a fizzy water that I had up there holding the camera in place. So I'm saving it now. And I'm going to save this one for YouTube and post it up later. Thanks, guys.